This is the scene that I want. Nah, the scene that we all need Spider-Man Brand New Day to open up with to make it a peak film. And allow me to enter my bag real quick. Hold up! Let them cook. Either way, me and you know what we gotta do. We gotta talk about it. So while everyone and their mama, myself included, has been spending their time hyping up the brand new suit. Say that again. But I mean, rightfully so, because, oh my God, my phone's on fire. It's perfect. Perfect down to every little detail. It looks just like Alex Ross art. My mind has been fixated on the emotional aspects of this film because I really needed to hit harder on an emotional level. And I think the best way to open up Brand New Day would be with a narrated monologue similar to the one from The Batman, where we hear Peter recapping what he's been up to as Spider-Man since the last time we saw him in No Way Home. Maybe we get some nice establishing shots of the city, how it's in turmoil after the events of Daredevil Born Again, similar to how the Batman has establishing shots of everything in Gotham. And then we slowly pan into his face, only to realize that he's at Aunt May's gravesite, and he's been talking to her this whole time. With Peter feeling all alone, I really want this gravesite to feel like home to him. Like he's got this overwhelming amount of guilt on his shoulders that gets washed away every time he's here. But it also serves as his North Star and his constant reminder of with great power there must also come great responsibility. You can do this two different ways. You can either intercut this with the opening monologue, or you can do it right after. But we know he has a police scanner on his phone, so he gets a notification and looks at it and realizes it's time to go to work. And that's when we get this opening montage that is intercut with a job search. So we see him fighting a bunch of low-level villains, D and Z-list characters, but at the same time, him looking for a new job. Photographer working at Feast, Pizza Time, maybe he's a lab assistant, which is quite literally almost the exact same way that the Spider-Man Brand New Day comic opens, with him going on a bunch of job interviews, and we get this last page of him saying, well, you know, he's been doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that in between jobs. I feel like that would be the perfect way to catch us back up to speed in his life. And this is actually something that I've had on my mind ever since No Way Home ended. I've mentioned this 1,000 times in multiple videos in the past, and yes, it's partly inspired by the end of TASM 2, where we just see Peter staring at Gwen's grave through the seasons. But my main source of inspiration for this opening scene is from Peter Parker Spider-Man issue number 20 by Jenkins and Buckingham, which 1000% read this. Late 90s, early 2000s Spider-Man was kind of peak, where it essentially plays out the exact same way that I mentioned. Only here it's a lot more somber and sad. But I think starting off this movie with an emotional weight behind it is crucial. And then the last source of inspiration was from Spider-Man Blue by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale, when he's like talking to Gwen. Man, this shit hits hard every time. I'm just saying, I feel like that would be a great way to open up Spider-Man Brand New Day, and I got trust and faith that Destin Daniel Cretton is gonna knock it out of the park from the emotional perspective, because this man has directed Short Term 12, Just Mercy, Shang-Chi. He gets it. I think he understands it, if this be his destiny. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts. What do you think about my thoughts, theories, and opinions? Drop a comment down below, and as always, like and follow for more.